Welcome to Tea Time with Karen. I'm today going to show you how to make sauerkraut. First you need a cabbage, and today was farm share day, so I have a cabbage. I actually have two cabbages. This we use some for dinner in the salad. So before I start cooking anything, I wash my hands and I also tied my hair back. So here I'm going to be cutting the cabbage into small pieces and throwing them into a container. So this is about, the size. I don't make it too small. You can, it's up to you, the texture you want your cabbage to be. But I'm not doing too small. I also washed the cabbage before I started this video. So in a minute, I'm going to cut up all the cabbage. Just bear with me. Smells really good. It's very fresh, and you want the freshest cabbage possible because you want it to be really crisp and have a lot of juices in it, because I'm going to be using the juice from the cabbage actually for the sauerkraut. Okay, so we'll hold off on that for a moment. So here I have what did it do? So here I have the cabbage cut up, and then I'm going to add salt to it. So salt I add to taste, and I really like this salt, real salt. I've been using this for a long time. It's called real salt. It looks different than the salt you buy. It's a kind of a pinkish color. I don't know if you can see in there the pinkish color. So what I do is I put the salt on top of the cabbage. I'm going to move, I have another cabbage here in case I need it. And I'm just going to mix the salt in with the cabbage. And I do this to taste. So you don't want it, it's your taste, so everybody's taste is different, so I don't necessarily want it too salty, and I don't want it not enough salt. So the purpose of the salt is going to draw the water out, and it's going to help with the pickling. So just going to add some more. Oops. So now I'm going to taste it. And this is about the right amount of salt. So I have a mason jar, and I'm going to stick the salted cabbage into the mason jar. And then I have this plunger thing, and I really want the cabbage in tight in the jar, so I plunge the cabbage down. And that gets the cabbage really tight. So I'm going to add some more of the salted cabbage to the mason jar. And then I'm going to, again, squish it down so it's in there tight. So you'll see this takes up a lot. And now I like to layer it with pickling spices. So I actually bought a blend of pickling spices. You can make your own, but it's just easier to have a blend. So the pickling spices add some flavor, and I like to layer it. So I put cabbage, now a layer of pickling spice, and now I'm going to add more of the cabbage that's been salted. Oops, and I'm getting it all over the place. and then again, squish it. Add some more. Now I'm going to add some more pickling. And really squishing it down. So this plunger, actually, the thing I'm using is from the Vitamix, so it really works nice to force the cabbage to be tight in the jar. And I'm gonna add more cabbage. So I'm gonna be filling the jar. I'm gonna need more cabbage in this to cut up. As you see, when you plunge it down, even though it looks like a lot in the jar, and it's really compact, it's in there tight. So I'm gonna be cutting more up, but the next step is I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna fill this up to the line here, and then I'm going to put, this is a gadget I got. It's from Kraut Sauce. This is the company. Oops. I really like this. It has a spring in it. So when I push it down, the spring will push the cabbage down, because you want the cabbage completely underneath. It's going to be immersed in water. And then after I close it, and then I'll push this down once it's full. I then, on the top here, will fill this with water and then put this on, and that will create a seal. And then I just have to add water every day to make sure the seal stays, and then it will be fine. The first day, I'm going to just leave this sit and use the salt to pull the moisture out. And then if there's not enough moisture after it's been sitting for a day, then I'm going to add water so that all the cabbage is covered with water. And that's it. And you let this sit a couple of days. You taste it. If you don't like it, it can sit longer. When you get the taste that you like, it's like 3 or 4 days is how I usually do it. When you get the taste that you like, then you put it in the refrigerator, and that stops the fermentation process. It's really very healthy for you, and it's a good way to get good bacteria in your system to eat fermented food. So it's very easy to make. I leave this out on my dining room table. You don't have to worry about it. It actually does well if it gets some light and then some dark. It kind of like, during the dark it kind of rests, and during the daytime it does the fermentation. So that's it, and I will show you more as the sauerkraut progresses. So that's it for Tea Time with Karen. I'm going to be filling the jar and cutting it the rest of the way so I can get the kraut going. I will see you tomorrow on Tea Time with Karen.